Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Full troll, you have been warned. I'm just going to do my base face today, minus brows, just because I am going out later to help out with a virtual event. And so I'm like, let me just paint my face, even though I kind of just want to put a hat on and just try to camouflage. This is how horrible my allergies have been. You see this under here? And this is my double bags, as you can tell, but it's really just like we are stuffed and extended. Ugh, horrible. But before we get started, you know what time it is. Chapstick time. I don't know why, like my lips have been even drier lately. Like they were in the middle of winter. And today is May 7th. Yes, this will probably be uploaded sometime in July. Yes, welcome to the crazy. This is how we do over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I do have on my skincare, and I am going to apply more eye cream. This is my base face routine that I've been doing now for quite a while, and I am really liking it. And this was a tip from Wayne Goss that really has been working for me, and I really like it. And then Alexandra, she also tried it too and really liked it, and that's when I was really like, hey, I need to revisit that, because I was doing it before after I saw Wayne do it, and then I just stopped for some reason. But now it's like a ritual for me when I put on my base face. And then under eye primer. This is not under eye primer, this is eyeshadow primer. This is the Fenty primer, and then I blend that out, and this does seem to help my concealer from, I'm using the wrong side of the brush. I was wondering why it felt weird, but this is the wrong side. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, it does really seem to help my concealer from creasing, and I think because it's really just pressing in along with the additional moisture from the eye cream. And then I'm going to take initially the 11.5 Butterscotch. I'll list these products below, but I think I'm going to end up using more than I normally use because you guys see how dark it is under here. I try not to rub my eyes. I tend to rub them more like when I'm sleepy, because then I'm not really thinking. Like when I first wake up, I'm just like, and I'm just like, oh, darn it. And then it's like once you get started, rubbing your eyes is just impossible to stop, because it feels good at the same time though it doesn't. And so that's when I usually rub, is like when I first wake up, beyond just getting the crust out the corner of my eyes from my eyes tearing overnight. But anyway, see, that looks a little better. I was wondering if I was going to go in with the number 13, which is cream caramel, but I'm not sure. We'll see how this looks after foundation. I'd be okay just going out like this, like just setting my whole face with powder. I really would, and I kind of want to do that, but since I said we're going to do my base face, I am. And I'm looking in the mirror down here, and it is still looking really dark in here, and I'm thinking because of the lights back there, which is why it may not be looking dark to you guys. So I'm going to take some of the number 13, and I'm just going to dot this right here and a little bit over here. Allergy season. I went for a walk yesterday at the park, and I was trying like so hard like not to sneeze and keep sniffing, because then people were like, COVID alert, get away from her. So I was trying like really hard. And this is, let me know if you can, if you understand this, or I should say explain this to me if you can. People jog past, walk past. Now this is a park. People go there to exercise. They have a kiddie area, so people take their kids, and there's a playground area. There's a skateboard park. There's tennis court section. There's basketball court section. You know, people ride their bikes around the park. They walk, they jog, they run. There's a hill, so you'll see like groups of people, like a team or whatever. They're training, doing drills up and down the hill. And so it's a place you go, you know, to work out. Why do some people wear perfume? Why do some people wear cologne? You're working out, you're going to sweat. And for me, with my allergies, the smell of sweat and cologne or sweat and perfume just do not go well. And it just like sets my allergies off even more. Like someone will run by and then it's like that after breeze and it's just like, oh, and then I'm like and sniffing and I'm just, why do people do that? I've even gone to Zumba classes where someone had on like really strong perfume and I'm just like, why? Does that look better? Down here it's looking better. Okay, so we're going to move on. We're going to do the concoction with 1 pump primer, face primer, 2 pumps of foundation. So why do people do that? If you're working out, why are you putting on, ooh, the foundation like squirted in a completely different direction instead of on top of the primer, which is where the nozzle was aimed. That was bizarre. So, and 2 or 3 drops, I'm going to use 3 drops of the beauty oil. So why do people do that? If you're going to go work out, why are you putting on cologne or perfume? Like, that's just horrible. So this is my concoction, and this is where the foundation like sprayed over. The primer is here. So I'm going to have to like shift the foundation over on top of the primer and beauty oil. So that's what we have. And so we're just going to very lightly tap this all over my face. Not directly under my eye, but just sort of where that eye bag or the hollow begins. I need to make sure to get around my nose because I realized in some videos, I'm like, did I do my nose? And then when I look later, I'm like, no, I did not do my nose. And so I have to be sure to get foundation on my nose. So just a really light layer. I find that with using the beauty oil, one, it helps the matte foundation not go on as matte, and it also helps it to spread easier. So it shears it out a little bit. So the foundation is still matte, but it's not as drying, I guess. And then once it's everywhere, then I stipple it in, making sure I get around the corners of my nose, because this area and this area is where it gets red. Well, not gets red, but just is red. And then I will press it in everywhere, stipple it in. So yeah, let me know, do you wear perfume or cologne when you go to work out? And if you do, why? And I know I just got real quiet, so I'm trying to think of what to say, because I'm used to speeding through this part. But I did realize about, I want to say a month ago, because that was when I did the video, but I've noticed sometimes when I speed through a video, and then whatever residual is just left, and this is still the first dip, I have not dipped back into that. I will tap under my eyes, just to make sure like there's no definitive line of where the concealer was and where the foundation is. And I lightly go over my brows just to keep them tamed. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I noticed in some of my videos when I speed through, because I don't have professional editing software, and because this is not my job, I didn't pay for editing software. And I know there are free ones out there, but I just need to check them out. I noticed that there were like weird sounds. One of them particularly, I felt so bad. I'm like, I should just redo the video or just take it down, because when I speed through it, you hear like an so it sounds like a cassette recorder, like if you were to wind it with your finger, and it's just like, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this video is friggin' horrible. And then I thought, they know me, and they know this is not a channel of perfection. And thankfully the video was fairly short. But it was just horrible, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like there's no reason in 2021 for a video to sound as bad, regardless of if you have professional editing software or not. And so anyway, so that's why I'm not speeding through this one, reason number one. Reason number two is I want to show you in real time what this would look like. I am not adding any more. So that is it for the foundation. And so then what I do is, and this is a little longer than real time because I'm talking. When I don't talk and I do this, it's just like zzz. I can do this in 7 minutes or less. Yeah. So translucent powder, and I'm tapping. The first place I press is under my eyes, and then I just press it around my face. I press powder all over, the translucent powder, because when I don't, the Fenty powder adheres to any moisture on my face. And once that Fenty powder is down, it is a beast to blend. Like it just adheres. And I'm just touching to see if there are any moist spots, and there are. And so that's why I still do translucent powder. And I'm going to take a powder brush, which I was not organized and had it out, and then just brush away any of the loose powder that's left, the translucent powder. And just making sure my face feels dry so that the Fenty powder doesn't stick to any loose areas. This is still the translucent powder that was left over in the lid because I'm trying to not be messy. Yeah, I'm liking how my under eyes look today. Yeah, so that was the 11.5 Butterscotch and also the number 13 Cream Caramel. And then we're going to take, I'm like, where did I put it? I know I put it here. We're going to take the Fenty powder and honey. And we're going to just use a little bit. The holes in here are real tiny, but the one I had before, when I enlarged the holes, then I was getting like way too much powder. And so I'm learning to work with it with the little holes. And so I stipple it first because I want this one, the honey, primarily in the center of my face. And that powder all over my shirt. Making sure I get around my nose, where it gets red, where I wear it, where I get red, where it gets red. So I was blending my sentences. And then we're going to take the nutmeg, the Fenty nutmeg. I forgot to put on my blush. I'm wondering if I'm just going to give up blush altogether because I've been always forgetting to even put it on lately. So this is the nutmeg, the Fenty powder and nutmeg. Woo. And I do, as you saw, this area first. And then I do my temples, and then I stipple across. Sometimes I stipple across, and sometimes I just go straight across. But when I just do the corners and then go across, sometimes it looks a little patchy. And that's just my application. It's not the powder at all, because this is not, when I'm swirling the brush in the lid, this is not a patchy powder. And then I'm going to take this under here for all of this. So that old 3E method from back in the day, yes, I still do that. 3E. And I know I got quiet again. And so we're going to close up nutmeg. And I know I have powder on my shirt. What else are we going to do? Are we going to do a lip? We're going to do what we always do. Fenty Gloss Bomb and hot chocolate. If you're still here, thank you. I didn't realize this video is over 10 minutes. I'm not going to edit, because I want you to see that even if you took your time, you can do a complete base face in 15 minutes. If I wasn't talking, it would be at least 5 minutes or less. And so that is it for this video. I thank you guys for being here and for watching, and let me know how you do your base face. And I am going to, I forgot about it, spray my face with setting spray. Wiping it off of my eyelids. The brush I use for powder, just going to press that in. This is the same as when people use their makeup sponges. and they spray their face and then press it in. So it's the same concept. And I just do it till my face no longer feels wet. So it presses in and whatever's left is in the brush. So that is it. So we use 2 brushes, complete base face minus brows, 3 brushes, complete base face minus brows. Thank you for watching, and you'll see me in the next video.